Around 3 years ago, I was someone who had no idea what emotions felt like. In fact, I was so numb, it felt like I had a rock below my head instead of a body. I was this emotionless creature who could not connect to people because he cannot empathize. When I think about it now, I was really missing on the richness of life because emotion is what adds color to our black and white worlds. If you can relate to all of this, please do not fall into the trap of this is how I am as a person. Because it is a lie, and a lie in which I believed in for the longest of time. Emotional numbness is a reversible condition and not a definitive trait. And by the end of this video, you'll have 4 simple science-backed steps to shatter this numbness and bring a whole new richness to your life. To start reversing this condition of emotional numbness, it is paramount that we first understand how emotions function and what caused this emotional numbness. And it's super fascinating. At least to me, it is. Emotions are so fucking amazing. I am endlessly fascinated by them. But they're also one of the most misunderstood experience of the human condition. To understand them, let's go back 90,000 years ago to a surrounding that is much, much different than the surrounding we find ourselves in. Back in that environment, it was supportive for our survival and health to be paranoid and to be looking for threats 24/7, literally throughout the day. So, if a hunter gatherer community becomes complacent and happy, they get eaten by hyenas. Evolutionary psychology has a very interesting perspective on emotions and one that I completely agree with. It says that the purpose of our emotions, especially the negative ones, is to literally keep us alive. Let me dissect the most common ones. The first one is fear, which makes us look for threats and stay on guard. The second one is anger, which helps us draw boundaries and fight back. The third one is shame, which helps us fit in with our community that improves chances of survival. Guilt helps us make amends, and sorrow elicits help. So essentially, evolution has put a bias towards these emotions in our mind and bodies to ensure our survival that we just so happen to label as negative. I want you to bring this fun change, which is a simple way to change your mindset towards these emotions. Instead of saying I'm feeling negative emotions, from now onwards, say I'm feeling pro evolution emotions and just own it in every situation. It's anyways more accurate and it helps you. So why not? I'm going to be doing it from now onwards and for the rest of this video. I talk about how mindsets help you become more emotionally aware and less emotionally numb at the end of the video. So evolution biased us towards some emotions that were pro survival and didn't care much about whether we were happy or content. But everything was fine until humans developed societies. With the formation of societies came certain rules and regulations and way of behaving. I don't think so hunter-gatherers are judged in their communities for the way they eat. Which is fine. I don't think so there's anything wrong with rules and regulations. They might even be essential for societies. But these behavioral norms fuck us up when they aim to reduce or suppress our pro-survival emotions. Let me explain. Let's go back to your childhood and let me ask you this question. Can you count how many times were you told not to cry or not to shout or be angry? The only goal for a child's brain, or any brain for that matter, is survival. So I continued blabbering like an idiot yesterday night, and after 20 minutes, I realized that my SD card ran out of space. So I have to record it all again. So what I was saying was that the only goal a child's brain has is survival, or any brain for that matter. And although emotions are supposed to aid and help in that goal, if a child cries out for help and is scolded or reprimanded for it, their brain, with enough repetition, learns that crying reduces my chance of survival because when I cry, mommy doesn't love me and I might be abandoned and end up dying. And the child starts using this very interesting function in the brain called suppression. There are 3 levels to it. Humans have this feature in their brain of suppressing their thoughts, emotions, and even certain sensations. In suppression, the emotions that are coming up are consciously pushed down by tightening our muscles and reducing our awareness levels. The next level to suppression is repression. When you get so used to suppressing an emotion, the mind makes a connection and decides, okay, I'll not even let him feel this. So after a while, the emotion does not even come in your conscious awareness. So people who are repressing an emotion aren't even aware that suppression is happening, and it becomes automatic and subconscious. This is the numbness we talked about. More on this later. And the third level to this mechanism is dissociation. Dissociation is when you completely check out of an experience because the intensity of an emotion is too strong to handle. It's almost like your soul is not present in that moment. People who have gone through sexual abuse and war trauma often report this experience. All these three levels are caused by something called hemispherical lateralization, in which the brain shuts off your emotional centers, but at different magnitudes. A logical question that might come to your mind when you think about all of this is that if I just suppress the pro evolution emotions, shouldn't I feel the positive ones? But I'm afraid it doesn't work that way. My understanding of emotions is that it's like a pendulum with one side that has pro evolutionary emotions and the other side that has thriving or positive ones. If we suppress and stop the pendulum at the side of pro evolution emotions, it also gets suppressed by laws of nature at the end of thriving and positive emotions as well. You suppress your pro evolution emotion on a magnitude of 8 on a scale of 1 to 10 and stupidly continue to hope of living a happy life and being happy. But what happens is your positive or thriving emotions also get numbed or suppressed at a magnitude of 8. So, looking at the pro survival emotions as negative or abnormal is what creates emotional numbness or even unhappiness. Now, let's look at how you can shatter this numbness and familiarize yourself with your emotions. I was recently at a housewarming and something happened that inspired me to make this video. We were just goofing around and the conversation took a turn to masculine and feminine energies in people and how in this man's world emoting and expressing emotions is not given enough value at the huge cost of our mental well-being. One of my friends, let's call him A, he started opening up about how he does not feel anything, even in the situations in which normal people are devastated. For instance, like a breakup. He wondered out loud whether this is a natural or healthy way of being, to which I asked him, how do you feel about it? I was very moved by his response, which was, I don't really feel anything when these triggering situations happen, and I don't even feel anything about that fact. And this is textbook repression or numbness. You don't even know that suppression is happening unconsciously, and the process doesn't even come up to your conscious mind. This is exactly where I was. In fact, I was even worse actually, because I wasn't even wondering about my way of being. What is supremely commendable about A is that he was aware of this fact and was open and willing to explore this, which is also what I believe you share with him because you clicked on this video and managed to watch it till here. On that note, here are 4 science-backed steps you can start doing in your days to become less emotionally numb and more emotionally aware with the slightest of effort. The first one is interoception. Interoception is the ability to be aware, recognize, and feel the internal sensations like hunger, your heart rate increasing, and for our purposes, emotion. This might confuse you, but I've realized that you feel emotions in your body, especially in the torso area. And this is also validated by science. So, if we improve our ability to interocept, we also become more emotionally aware and attuned. Concretely, this is what you can start doing. There's this app called How You Feel. I discovered it when I was researching for this video and making it. It's an absolutely beautiful app and it's literally perfect for developing your interoception and emotional awareness. Download the app and set a timer in it to remind you 3 times a day. Or you can even add its widget to your home screen so that you're reminded of it every time you open your phone. All you have to do is open the app and mark how you feel in that instance among all the options on the screen. So if I do this now, I have to choose how I feel among these 4 options, which is high energy unpleasant, high energy pleasant, low energy unpleasant, and low energy pleasant. I would say I'm feeling high energy pleasant right now. And then a lot of these bubbles show up and you have to then become more specific about how you're feeling among these. I'm feeling challenged. I would say I'm feeling challenged because I was initially irritated that I have to re-record this, but right now I'm feeling challenged. So I'll just mark I'm challenged. Then it'll ask me what am I doing currently. So I'll just quickly mark that I'm recording a video, and that is all. Now it's marked. And this literally took less than a minute. And over the time, what this app does is it marks your mood patterns and how you feel during a certain time of the day doing a certain activity. But more than any of that, what it helps you with is build your interoception or emotional muscles. I genuinely believe that this is the most effective thing you can do, which takes literally less than 3 minutes a day, that will transform your relationship with your emotions and make you less numb to them. I'm so happy that I discovered this app. I'm going to be recommending it to people left, right, and center. By the way, if you think this video has been helpful till now, hitting the like button makes sure it reaches more people. The second one is journaling. Anyone who is experiencing any problems or concerns over their emotions, things like anxiety issues, anger issues, and even overthinking, journaling is a no brainer for them. Giving words to your emotions helps you understand them, process them, and even release them. And this works even for numbness. Concretely, this can look like a regular practice before you go to sleep, where you write the events that happened in your day and how it made you feel. Again, numbness can absolutely be an answer. The third one is a mindset change. Imagine this: you work for an organization with hundreds of employees and you have to deliver a speech in front of them. In the chilly boardroom, there's the CEO and the other board members. Before the speech, you're shaking, your palms are sweating, and your heart is pounding. What do you think is the best thing to do in this situation? To try to calm down or to try and get more excited? According to Harvard Business School, 91% of people think that the best thing to do would be to try and calm yourself down. But people who are told to see these signs as something that is getting them excited and literally tell themselves that I'm getting excited were better able to handle the stress and were rated as more confident and persuasive during the speech. Changing your mindset towards these pro evolution emotions from something that you shouldn't feel or something that is bad for you to something that is natural or even beneficial for you will help your subconscious mind to let yourself feel them, which will in the long run make you more emotionally aware and attuned. This entire video is a mindset intervention trying to introduce and seduce you into a new way of looking at your own emotions. Number 4 is compassion for experiencing feelings or emotions. Like I said in the beginning, around 3 years ago, I was completely emotionally numb. And since then, I've been on a journey to become less emotionally calloused each day. And hands down, the thing that has helped me the most on this journey is having compassion towards myself. More specifically, having compassion for feeling and experiencing emotions, especially the pro survival ones. Concretely, this can look as something as simple and tiny as telling yourself, it's okay to feel this, it's completely natural to feel this when you're going through some painful or strong emotions. But one of the most effective techniques that I learned to build self compassion when I had zero of it was this exercise that I learned in this book. I talk about it in this video. So if you want to become more compassionate, you can click here.